welcome everybody. It's so lovely to have you here on a not such a cold winter night, right? It's kind of lovely out. Really appreciate you coming here, and thank you for those watching online. I am Melia Bensussen, Artistic Director of Hartford Stage. Thrilled to welcome you all to our third episode of Seen and Heard this 25-26 season, and a huge thank you to our friends at Victus Coffee. Yay! We are all enjoying wonderful coffees and love being here as part of the community and neighborhood here at downtown Hartford. So we're here to talk about our next play, which I have to say was programming genius on our part at Hartford Stage. Because there is so much laughter happening at our theater right now. And as we were saying just before we started this, how important laughter is at this particular moment. The Cottage is by Sandy Rustin. And I am going to introduce this great group of women that is here. And it's not an accident that it's just women here talking. And we'll explain why in a minute, right? So starting on our left is our director, our beloved Associate Artistic Director, Zoë Golub-Sass, who's directing the production. And then, hold your applause. Hold your applause. You can cheer us all on afterwards, right?
I'll collect it.
Right? Yeah. And Jetta Juriansz. Did I get it? Sort of, kind of. You can call me any version of Melia Bensussen that you choose. Perfect, I answered all of it. And Mary Cavett and Kate MacCluggage, the three women who are really the center of this wonderful play. And I'll just, I'll start us off, right? I want us to just talk about what it's like to be inside the show, and also what an audience will experience in coming to the theater. I always like to give you all a little bit of a sense of where people are. This crew has been working fast and furiously because this is really just the second week of rehearsal. So people don't know each other. Some of you have heard me say this before, but the amazing thing about theater is how people come from different places who haven't worked together, very quickly bond, and especially in something like this, which is a kind of cross between Noel Coward and just the most manic Marx Brothers farce you can imagine. And if you don't know who the Marx Brothers are, please watch some Marx Brothers. And so the combination of the style and the comedy and the wit of Noel Coward with that spirit of mayhem and chaos. And I just love that this is written by a woman, that Sandy Rustin had set out to write, in a sense, to take a Noel Coward-like scenario, a farce scenario, but empower the women in it. So that is why we have these stunning, brilliant artists with us to talk about it. I'll say two things before I hand it over to all of you. One is, and I'm going to geek out with all of you for just a moment, is that farce is much more about disruption and chaos. Tragedy, at the end of tragedy, there is a kind of order that's collapsed and begins to be restored. Comedy, order is always restored. Most comedies end in marriage or some version. And so there's a kind of restoration of society, but farce is disruptive. Farce is about upending social systems. There's an Oscar Wilde quote about how you have to, if people don't laugh when you tell the truth, they'll kill you. So you have to make them laugh when you tell truth. And this is a bit. And then I'm going to just end with Sandy Rustin writes at the beginning of the play as a kind of guiding principle. It is discouraging how many people are shocked by honesty and how few by deceit. And that's Noel Coward. And that'll sort of set us off, the Oscar Wildes and Noel Cowards of the world, right? What is it like, Zoe, to be helming this? I have heard rumors that there is much laughter coming out of you in rehearsal.
Yes, I am unstoppable. So this is a play that is set in this remote cottage. Sandy's kind of created a perfect setting for this escape.
1920s England.
1920s England, beautiful countryside cottage. It's Monday morning. And Mary's character, Sylvia, is at this cottage with her lover and has sent some telegrams to their respective spouses
She's
saying,
decisive.
she's decisive. She's a woman taking charge. Why should she be punished?
Why should she ask her lover if he wants his wife to know
Yeah.
details?
It's time.
Exactly.
And then disruptions ensue. I love
Exactly.
that
This is what.
disruptions.
No, it's really about the disruptions.
And one of the things that's been so exciting is what is made possible because of a disruption. And right now we're again running fast and furious through this play, but why certain things can happen because people have gone through the events of the play, which is
Right.
always true. But because the disruptions are so large and because the world has such high highs, major laughs and also major surprises for those honesty moments of, who am I in my marriage? Who have I been to myself? How have I changed? How have you changed? How have you not changed? How have I changed? All that to say, there's a lot of laughter. I am laughing every day at this brilliant, brilliant company. We also have 3 men in the company who are
We like
across
them too.
the way.
They're really
men.
They are
wonderful.
wonderful.
They're really wonderful.
And there's so much honesty and so much to mine from the play that I'm learning new things with you guys every day and surprised by what is true for these people in these circumstances.
Well, I love the way you put it, and I'll ask you all as performers, right? I keep thinking of the quote, which I looked for its attribution, and it's got many different parents, if you will. Dying is easy, comedy is difficult, right? My favorite attribution is an actor on his deathbed who was dying, who was asked, how was he doing? And he said, well, dying is difficult, but comedy is difficult. Dying is easy, comedy is difficult. What is it like to be at the heart of it? Mary, you start the play. What do you think of, even as you rehearse these opening scenes?
Well, the first day of rehearsal, I suddenly realized how much has to happen before anyone else even shows up.
I wondered about that. Is
I
why
have like
I'm
a
throwing it
couple
at
of-
You
you.
have like a 2-page scene with yourself
I was like,
and the
here we
cottage.
go.
And he's not
Let's
on
rehearse
there.
this. No, he's upstairs.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, right. There are things to be done.
There's tea to be set.
There are so many events have to occur before I even utter a word. And I was like, oh, here I am. Okay. But it's been so fun. As soon as the ball kind of got rolling, it's just been snowballing. And every day, as soon as first it began, myself and Jordan Sobel, and then the next day, who was next to arrive?
Me, Kate.
You were next to arrive. Yes.
Marjorie.
Marjorie arrived. And then, basically each day of rehearsal, a new actor came into the room, and I was like, yes, we have someone else to play with. Wonderful. And then I just tumbled down the hill. I feel like I'm just tumbling down a hill, like Jack and Jill, but laughing the entire way.
It's really interesting, though, because part of the challenge, and I assume I'll go to you next then, Kate, right, is the laughing is okay for us to do, but not for you. So right, working in a comedy, it's incredibly technical, and it's really about we all love the outtakes when actors crack up in film outtakes, but on stage, not so simple, right? Perhaps you can get it out in rehearsal so you know you won't do it on stage.
Well, you sort of have to get it out in rehearsal because the room is the jury, right? So
Yes.
no one is funny in a vacuum. And
So you need all of you to
actually-
laugh at each other.
you have to sort of try something out, and if the scene devolves and people laugh, then you're like, great. So now we just have to sort of gird our loins and brace ourselves to get
Right.
through it again and stay in character. But I think that is a little bit sort of how the comedy works, where you have to throw things out into the middle of the room and see
what
sticks.
catches.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I love this rolling down, right, Jetta? Is that your experience? I mean, then when you
Literally.
joined the party,
Yeah.
do you roll
In my case, it's literal rolling and sometimes falling and sometimes spinning and sometimes twirling and it's very physical.
You have a lot of physical comedy.
Today we got to experience that. These pants don't look too closely at them. They're very, very dusty. But yeah, I would say it's what I love about this show and about comedy in general is that like what's funniest wins. It's very much we get to work as a team to almost like mathematically figure out what the funniest option is, and we almost won't stop, and we're like detectives, and we like love to figure it out together, and once we finally reached it, we can all like feel it, and it feels so good, and then we allow ourselves to move on. And sometimes, there's a lot of characters, and there's a lot happening at once, and it is kind of like mathematical. It is like, then this happens, and this happens, and this sound, and this sound.
It's very much like a score in my experience with comedy, and I know for all of you, right? That if this happens too soon, that won't pay off.
Yeah.
So that you're really learning how to not only what works, but when it works. Which is
Absolutely.
its own scoring.
Oh, sorry. Go
No, I was just gonna say sometimes it sounds wrong. Like sometimes it was like, that was funny, but it didn't sound right. And so and we were all like, yeah, right. So let's try it and get perfect. And then everybody just knows, like we'll switch those things and then it fits just perfectly.
Yeah.
One of the things I like so much about doing comedy on stage as opposed to doing something more serious is this thing you're talking about, that the funniest thing wins. When you're doing a very serious play, I can't, as an actor, come up to another actor and say, in this moment, why don't you think about...
But with comedy,
and if somebody came up to me and said that, I would be like, excuse you, please go sit down somewhere else, right? But in comedy, it is a little bit like, well, what if it's this? And there's a lighter, you hold on to your own job a little lighter, which is fun.
That is so interesting, though, right? I mean, when you say it, I think that's exactly right.
Yeah.
So something about comedy allows us to share, whereas the tragic, the difficult, everybody goes inside instead of out.
I think that's right. Or maybe it's just that it is a group job either way.
That's right.
But you have to sort of know which cog in the machine you are a bit more.
In a comedy.
And I think in a comedy, sometimes you're a little bit sharing the weight slightly differently than you are.
I wonder if it's the kind of comedy. I mean, and I think this is such an extraordinary ensemble piece.
Yeah.
Because I could imagine certain, I can think of certain Noel Coward plays.
That's true.
Right, where you could imagine sort of diva stuff happening, a kind of actor
true.
only focusing on their journey. But I think it speaks volumes about the six of you and Zoe, and also Sandy's writing, that it feels that collaborative to make it.
Yeah.
It is, and Zoe's set up a room that is so open where everyone has the ability to
Right.
speak up and have a voice, and we get great ideas from stage management one
That's
time, and we'd be
great.
like, well,
That's
what
great.
about, like everyone has a voice, and
Well-
so we really are
and
putting
the
this
props.
together. The
We have,
props
I
are-
will
so
say,
many
a
ideas
call
from the
out to
things.
genius prop design at
Oh,
Hartford
yes.
Stage.
So
If you've
true.
seen shows with us before, you certainly see that the prop is any physical object on stage is a prop. Do you know where that word comes from? Is that actors used to bring their own clothing,
personal.
and it was their properties. And so that's where
Yeah.
we got props. See, we're just geeking out here today on Seen and Heard. I'm sorry. I was thinking about the fact that it's all so collaborative, that in fact one of the plot points is how collaborative everyone's love life is in this play. I don't know if collaborative is the right word.
For some of them.
Certainly intertwined.
Yeah.
Intertwined.
Yeah.
So it's
Configuration.
sort of wonderful that in the making of it, there's so much sharing because your storylines are completely intertwined.
Yes.
Yes.
Right? A
Yeah.
little hint. Zoe, do you want to sort of just hint at plot without giving anything away? Good luck.
What I'll share, I think this might let you know where it's headed. But so Mary's Sylvia, played by
Thank you.
Mary.
Mary's
is
having an affair.
with
It's on the internet.
it's out
Exactly.
there.
With
The
so-
telegrams, you heard about the
The
telegrams.
telegrams. And one of the telegrams went to Kate's character, Marjorie, who is married to the man that Sylvia is with.
Just nod when your character name is said,
Yep.
since
Yes.
that way we will all follow.
And
Yes,
Sylvia
exactly.
is married to her lover's brother. And that is the first complication.
Yes, many.
And it
And
just
many more.
goes
It's
on.
snowball. It just keeps rolling down the hill.
And it's fun because as people get this information, there are increasing levels of surprising reactions
That's
to
right.
this information. It's not
It's
all
not right.
bad necessarily.
No,
Yeah.
it is a comedy.
It is
Yeah.
a comedy.
Well, it's right. Again, Oscar Wilde, the truth is rarely pure and never simple. Right? So there's something about how truths are revealed in this play that there's then a complexity of reaction to them.
And truth being the coward quote is more surprising than
Right.
fiction or the
Right.
lies that we tell.
Right. You've been at Hartford Stage before. It's been a
have.
minute.
It has.
But it's wonderful to have you back.
I'm so happy to be back.
Do you want to talk a little bit about what your experiences have been at Hartford Stage in the past
Sure.
and being back versus, say, the Broadway show you just did? You know,
Sure.
the sort of the difference maybe to make it even more general. And for all of you in that sense of what it's like to be here in Hartford, but also where regional theater lands in your own experience.
Sure. I have a bit, I mean, I'm a hometown girl. I was
Right.
born in Hartford, and so in Hartford Hospital,
Yay.
where my oldest brother works, and both of his kids both work at Hartford Hospital as well. And so my parents met working at the Hartford Current. And then I was raised in Groton, New London area. And so I love coming back to Connecticut because I have so much family here and I have a whole community here. So that's great. This is my 5th show at Hartford Stage, I think.
First one since I've been here, I think.
Yes.
Which
first
I'm
one
so glad we got you here at long last. Zoe,
We're
this has
very
been a
lucky.
pipe dream of Zoe's to get you here since she came. So
Well, and Zoe and I met in Ithaca at a different regional theater at the
this
Kitchen.
is Life in the American Theater, right?
That's right. And so, yeah, I think, you know, the trickiest thing, which there's wonderful things about it and there's tricky things about it.
About
doing
it being-
regional theater.
Thank you.
When you do regional theater, you have to leave your home for 6 weeks to 3 months, depending on the contract, usually about 2 months. And if you do that a lot,
It's hard to have a life.
you better have a life that's pretty flexible or helps for those things. And I think there are things that I love about that. I love being in Connecticut because it already feels like home, so that's helpful to me. But I also like going out of town. Things get simpler for a bit, you know. I sort of love it, but it is difficult, and you do have to sort of pick and choose how often you can do it.
And which theaters, right?
And which
part of
theaters.
it is home for you. We're so grateful we got all three of you to come here. And I guess I would ask sort of the same of you two, of what's your experience like being at Hartford Stage and what it means to be at this theater at this time or at a regional theater.
I love it. I'm thrilled to be here. And Hartford Stage is a very reputable company. Like, it's
Oh,
a
well
really,
said. I didn't even tell her to say
is.
that.
No, it is though. You know, it's
It
like
is.
there are certain
Tony
smaller
Award
theaters,
winning.
right? You know, there are some that are smaller and wonderful, you know, as well. But then there are the ones that you're like, oh, I get to do a play at Hartford Stage.
Yeah,
Like, oh, I have
we
a
love
friend who
that.
did that, or, you know. You've seen the production, your photos, and you're like, oh, those are beautiful. I'm so excited.
We do have a great staff. You will look gorgeous.
Oh,
there is
it's-
no, and the sketches for this show, how these, they're all gonna,
They're beautiful.
just gonna be a beautiful sight for the eyes as well as
Yeah,
a great pleasure to listen to.
I love coming into an environment that exists, like a regional theater that has its staff and its family, and you're walking into what feels like a family. It's this
Right.
group of people who work together all the time, year in, year out, where a lot of productions in New York, you know, people gather for the production and then dissipate, and maybe you find people somewhere else, you know. But this is, you're walking into a family of people who work together, and I love going away. It feels like camp.
Yeah.
You know, where you're like, I get to just go somewhere, experience a new town, a new community. I feel like I'm shopping for the next place I want to live. Sometimes in a way, I'm like, oh, how does this feel? And my life then becomes very singular, where I can just do a play without the distractions of the rest of my life, or my friends or people trying to like pull me in different directions. It feels very special to me to just get to sort of narrow the focus and be an actor and work on a play. And again, like we all go home at the end of the day in the same building that we're rehearsing in, like in the hotel that we're all
Yeah,
living
you don't
in.
even
know,
have
it's
to
like-
go outside, right? Our
We don't
housing
leave.
is at the Residence Inn, which is connected to our rehearsal studios.
So we just
live
So
and
no
breathe
commute.
the theater.
right. Like we took an adventure to go get groceries
And
yesterday.
it felt like a huge adventure.
yeah.
We were like, where are we?
Right. So you do connect with your castmates in a different way, I
Which
think,
helps
as well.
towards this
Yes.
ensemble building
Yes.
energy, I think, too.
Because
Yeah.
you become a family. You are each other's social lives. You are, you
Right.
know, just the
And
ins
it all
outs of it.
feeds into the play in an
Yes.
interesting way.
Yeah,
What were you going to say,
absolutely.
Jetta? Sorry.
Oh, no, yeah. I feel the same. My background is in TV and film primarily, and unless I'm working on a show as a series regular, which is a rare experience for me, I don't get to spend this much time with a community working on a project for this long. You know, sometimes, most of the time, I'm on set for a day or two, or, you
Right.
know, if I'm lucky, like a couple weeks, and then you say goodbye to all the people you worked with, and it was so much fun, and then you move on to the next project.
Yeah.
But for something like this, you get to like really live in it and work on it and be with that family that you made and that community, and then also share that experience with an audience every night. And that experience is why I think I am so connected to theater, and why I want so badly for it to be a part of my career forever, because it just is unlike anything else you can experience as an artist, and it's so fulfilling, and it's so enriching, and it challenges you so much, and it makes you better, and also it makes me very, very happy.
Wonderful. If I can jump on that then and say to all four of you, what do you think an audience takes away from this? Like, what can this wonderful audience expect to experience watching this production? And it's early days, but if you know, just a few thoughts on what can you all expect when you come to see this wonderful production?
Well, this is exactly my favorite type of show. I love an ensemble comedy with big, big, big laughs, but also something to learn, and also like real warmth and character and fun. But also, I was talking about this a little bit today. I think as a woman,
The theme of the evening.
I think as a woman, like there's to me nothing more empowering than seeing women be funny. Like I go out of my way to seek out art that just gives women opportunity to be silly and funny and shine in that way. And Sandy and Zoe have given us the opportunity to just be so funny and silly and take up space in a way that, like, you just don't get that opportunity often at all.
And it's great that they're sexy, they're smart, they're beautiful, and they're funny.
Everything.
As opposed
All
to
of
the
them.
sidekick being funny.
Oh,
right?
yes. It's
And
a
there's a straight
feast.
woman. They're
Yeah.
all the leading ladies, and they're all also very, very funny.
And the combination hopefully makes the audience lean in and feel a part of it. There's something that is, I think, the surprises of it that push you to the edge of your seat. It's ridiculous, this diversion that occurs. And you can't help but be surprised. And so I think there's something that pulls you off your guard in a way that as adults we don't get to have that often.
Right.
And the comedy, it is very funny. There's physical comedy and sophisticated. And Sandy she's an expert writer. She understands the construction of the play and how audiences react and how to make
really
you want
builds.
to go
It's
in.
really- yeah.
Yeah. And so I think hopefully, I mean, we're at a point in the play where a lot of people are confronting their marriages and their own loneliness. And I think that's something that a lot of people feel in this world right now, especially this time of year, regardless of what year.
Yes.
And I think that this play, it reminds you of why you come to the theater. It's to meet great actors. I mean, it's like, I just feel like I'm so excited. I feel like I get to introduce my best friends. I'm like, this cast is amazing.
And in the thrust space, you're
thrust,
so close.
You're in the
Yeah.
cottage with us.
Yeah.
And so you get to meet, you get to be surprised, and you get to feel connected to these actors, but hopefully to the person you came to the theater with, and hopefully a stranger. And you're part of this community. And so I think that the comedy, it
The
pushes you
laughing
down the hill.
together is so good,
Yeah.
too.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, the feeling of laughter with the group of people, giving each other the permission to laugh and to have joy, like, it's contagious. Laughter is contagious. So
Yeah.
I think it's good for us to all come and have.
Well, that's a huge difference
That
between
feeling.
comedy and tragedy, right?
Yeah.
Like you go to a movie that's sad and you watch it alone, that's not so bad.
Right.
But you go to a movie that's funny, you don't want to be alone in the movie theater. Now, I would say in the theater, you always want to be with people, right? No matter what. But there's something about laughter being communal. Were you going to say something?
No.
No? I'll throw out another question then, something that I think is really interesting about 1923, right? The play is set in 1923, and the dramaturgy around setting it in that year, the historical context is kind of interesting. Do you all want to talk about, what are some of the things that are popping up for you being in the play that are actually in the play? You don't even need to do research to know that are new to these characters in particular.
Well, certainly laws around marriage, divorce. What do you have to prove in order to get a divorce? Can a woman ask for a divorce? These are there.
'Cause that's an
things are
important theme.
Starting to
Yeah.
change. Yeah. Of having autonomy within your own marriage.
Right.
As a woman.
Right.
We're also coming out of the First World War.
Right.
On the outsides of that,
The British suffragettes,
And the British
right?
suffragette,
I
yeah.
mean, what really led to the women getting the vote, it was the strongest movement was really at first in England, and it came from England to us. So you're all kind of in the heat of that.
yeah, it's in the beginnings of like the 1920s, like the new woman of like this modern woman and women being able to take charge and have agency over their lives, their property, their marriages.
Chopping off their hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cutting, shortening their
Shocking.
skirts, showing an ankle.
Oh,
So,
God forbid.
But it's wonderful because these are all woven into a farcical plot. So this is sort of this joy of laughing at something and also going, oh, wait, you couldn't get a divorce? Well, that's kind of cool she got a divorce, right?
what does it feel like to be divorced? People have never met a divorcee.
Right.
Right.
Right,
Perhaps
Jetta, you
because
get to be
they're
the first.
Anglican.
You're the first divorcee
Woo!
that you two meet, right?
Yeah. Yes.
That's what we hear in the play.
It's true.
Many surprises around that. All right, so now you're all in the midst of this. What relationship advice would your character give all of us? I mean, let's be here. Let's get some advice to, New Year resolutions.
I think the thing that this play really also is tackling is if you are not ready to hear the answer, do not ask the question. Just don't go there.
We're not doing Fiddler on the Roof, do you love me?
No.
Do not sing do you love me in this context,
If you can't stand the heat, get out of the
That's
kitchen.
awesome.
I think Sylvia would probably tell you, don't waste your money on the fancy lingerie, dear. He won't notice.
Ooh, that's honestly good advice.
That is very good advice, yeah.
I think Dierdre would say, if you love a girl, buy her sweets.
Yes.
Which Jetta stands by that too.
Yeah. Zoe, what do you think?
I don't know, from watching all of these people,
Yeah.
if
Stay single.
Probably. I mean, if they haven't changed, there's probably a problem.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Allowing room to change over time.
Yeah. Because there is a sense of transformation that happens in the play.
Yeah.
That's actually. Do you feel that do you feel these characters, how are they most different not to give anything away, but how would you say, and then I guess I would ask adjacent to that is how do you as an actor kind of craft that journey if your character is changing?
Go ahead.
No, you go.
I think most of the characters are sort of becoming or allowing themselves to be who they are. And the mistakes that they made when they were younger, which I feel like we all do, is that you then couple yourself to someone's potential or what you hope they will be and not actually who they
are and who they're telling you they are.
And that you're not telling them
Right.
totally who you are yet because you're like, I don't know if I'm ready to do that. So I think there's that in some ways we're all becoming more than we're changing.
Oh, I love
you
that.
know?
Yeah.
Yes, very good.
Yeah.
And how do you as an actor then track that?
Well, what's fun, I think, is that you sort of go, okay, you always want to know as an actor, what does a character want, right? That's their motivation. What are they going after? And then there are what we call obstacles to getting what you want. And I think in this play, it's about getting very, very clear about what you want, and then it's them allowing themselves to finally go for it. So
Yeah.
it's sort of the same as any kind of acting work. It's just, and I think also with the comedy, all of us have a little bit of that sort of dog squirrel thing where we want something really badly until something else comes in, and then that looks really delicious, and then that looks really delicious, and then maybe I actually want this. No, that's what I want. Ooh, that's yummy too. You know, that you have
Yeah.
to want something 110% and then immediately drop it for something else that looks good.
That's great.
Well said. I agree. I think part of it too is also figuring out as you go, again with like every play, is what does my character know now? Because as the actor, you know the whole play and you know what's coming and you can anticipate
Right.
that, and you have
But
to
you can't
know.
play the end at the beginning.
No, and you can't know too much yet. With all these reveals and surprises that come up, I have to remember to forget
Yes.
that I know any of it.
Right.
Yes.
So it can all hit me for
Right.
the first time, which is
great.
Trickier than it sounds.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's part of what you end up doing, right, Zoe? Is identifying where people are showing that they know
Right.
too much.
Right.
Right.
Right. I think also in this show, once you're on stage, you don't leave.
Right.
Yeah, like you don't. Your journey is there. So, unlike a lot of other shows, like your arc happens in front of everyone.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah.
And so they get to watch your journey occur, and it all kind of is happening in real time.
You don't get to go off stage, say, now
Right.
I'm 10 years older when I
No,
come back
exactly.
on,
It's-
and I've
it's not
learned
like,
so much
and
off
the
stage.
war changed me.
Exactly.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's like, no, that's all happening. You're watching this happen to me, and it's all, so, which is really fun. Everything happens in real time.
We see you all change in every way.
Yes.
Costume changes maybe to a degree as well, I
Yes.
think.
And
Yeah.
the audience is with us the whole time. And so I think staying honest is really important, like just staying honest, and that's something that, like, in such a heightened comedy, especially with my character who's in so many ways like a cartoon, I think like making sure that especially as now we're in the second act, like I think as things are heightening and as things get to a crazy place, being like, are my choices coming from an honest
That's a great
place?
way to put it.
Because she has to end up somewhere, and I have to like handle her with care and like, not
And
just
love
with,
her, right? You
Yeah, not
gotta
just
love
with
who you
someone
play.
who wants to make everyone laugh at her. Like that's
Yeah.
she for all intents and purposes is a real person.
Yeah. She's an optimist, which
She-
I think is like part of what in some ways feels other in
Yes.
her
Uh-huh.
is like she just believes in the best in other people
Yeah.
for longer than most other people.
I like relate to her in ways that are sometimes embarrassing to admit. Like I'm sometimes like everyone's laughing, and I would say this. I would say what she said. But yeah.
So what you discover about yourself while discovering the character.
Yes, yeah. Me and Jordan, who plays Bo, have talked about this. How sometimes it's hard it's hard to play a character honestly sometimes when you are so close to the character, and you know how the audience is meant to perceive that character.
That's
yeah.
great, right? Because you want to be perceived differently, and yet
Yeah, you want to be like, and isn't that crazy? What they said, and I would never say that.
but I would.
Yeah, but I would,
Right.
and I have, and that, and she just
That's
did.
great.
So it's sometimes you have to just show up as honest as possible for these, even as heightened as they can.
And you're
be.
all doing this in British accents. So
Yes.
let's talk about that. What's it been like immersing yourself in the sounds?
Delicious.
fun.
Have any of you done plays recently that needed a British accent? Or is this sort of relatively new to all of you at this point? I'm sure historically or over the years, but
Not for a
recently,
while.
not for a while.
In a second too, yeah.
One of the characters that I had I closed a Broadway show in
On Left on 10th.
Left on 10th by Delia Ephron, directed by Susan Stroman.
Yes.
And so one of those characters was English. I played 12 characters.
You changed
And had
so
like 16
fast.
wigs.
I had
It's-
26 costume changes in about 100 minutes. And
And you could never tell. You came on cool as a cucumber
Yeah.
when we saw it.
so accents were my best friend because how else do you seem like a different person?
Yeah.
You speak differently. So that was useful. So one of my characters was that. And I remember, in rehearsal at one point, I came on as one character, but I was using the accent of another character, and I don't know who I am. I'm having an existential moment. I've done some recently, I suppose.
Do you feel-
But this is heightened.
And
'cause
and
this
how,
is-
what does it do to your body, your acting, your voice to be in this other sound, in this very British sound?
I can't imagine doing it with my own idiolects. Like, I
Uh-huh.
think it would. It's written to be inside of this.
And do you
and
feel-
it's stylized
Yeah,
in
yeah.
a way. Like, it's,
1920s received pronunciation. It's
Yeah.
it's no one
Yeah.
actually speaks like this.
No.
Yeah. Can you
It's
give us a sample?
A sample.
A song?
yes.
It's an American version of a British comedy,
Correct.
too.
Yes.
So I think it does embrace our American sensibility. No one
Correct.
speaks this way.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's part of the fun of the lie of it, of the facade of the mask we put on. The setting is yet another mask on these like very
Right, the perfect
contemporary
cottage
Yes.
on stage.
British
English
people.
accents on American
They do
actors.
everything nicely, perfectly.
Extreme propriety.
Yes, they have
Yes.
tea.
Yes.
You know, no one. You know,
Even while threatening each other.
even while making drinks at 9 a.m. I mean, it's like this feels like an evening play,
Right.
but it's 9 a.m. And
Yeah.
some people drink throughout the whole play and don't get drunk. Some people drink and do get very
Yes,
drunk.
Make
yes,
that a
it's
drinking
wonderful.
game. Drink when someone, just pick a character and drink every time they drink and just see how drunk you get.
Yeah,
Maybe not while watching. I
there
don't
is
know.
an intermission.
An
So
intermission
refresh
game.
your
We'll
brain.
think about that.
Yeah.
Are there questions from any of you who are here with us that you want to join? Yeah.
Hello.
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 So, you're a character. Kind of plays the role of the dizzy kind of. Yet the script gives her moments of unexpected, profound wisdom
Right.
Yes.
regarding the nature of love and relationships. So, how did you, as an actor playing her, balance the comedic requirement of the character with the delivery of these deeper, more philosophical?
What a great
insights
question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
into,
Yeah. That's a great question.
That's such a great question. So yes, my character Dierdre does have these moments of sort of profound wisdom in an unexplained way. I have a theory as to where she picked up some of these wisdoms from.
Many of them are quotes,
Yeah,
right?
they're quotes.
And then periodically, then you realize, no, she's really smart. She's
She's-
also coming up with things.
Yes.
How do you want them to get the laugh, but also get the
Yeah, get the meaning behind them. I think I think I have a theory of where she's picked up some of these from, but then she's also sort of come up with some of these on her own. And I think delivery wise, I kind of as Dierdre like have them as little things that she keeps in her pocket. And when someone says something to her that triggers like a saying that she keeps in her pocket, it almost comes out like
It's pure, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like almost just instinctual, like something she's said a million times to help someone along the way. And maybe it's something she's said to herself to like on the train to like pick herself up on a rainy day or something. But yeah, she does have kind of you know like those people where you're like, oh, maybe this is too specific. Where you're like, someone's comforting you and you're like, ah, man, this is not the person I wanted to comfort me. But then they say like exactly what you needed to hear, and you're like, oh. That's how I see Dierdre. So yeah.
What I love that you're saying, and I love the question, is that you're all speaking about finding an essential truth before it's funny.
Yes. Yeah.
That if you play it from the beginning as funny without it being true, which you've all alluded to in different ways, right? So it's part of the truth of the story. Thank you for that. Is there one more question? Ruth.
It just directed at you. As soon as I heard your name, I was familiar to me. So I want to know what other plays I've seen you in.
So I did Bell Book and Candle, which was a co-production with Long Wharf. I did Twelfth Night that Darko directed here, the one with the hedge mazes.
I love those hedge mazes. I love the photos, yeah.
Alexander Dodge, that incredible set designer. And then we did a rep of La Dispute, and this is not a theater, right? And Macbeth.
Right.
So I did
You did those. Were you Lady M?
I was Macduff.
You're Lady Macduff.
And a witch.
Nice.
With a great, weird, sort of scabby, bald cap and pendulous breasts.
I think that was the concept, right?
Yeah.
It was a terrific bodysuit that the three of us were all in. It was
That
me
is-
and Mahira Kakar and Calista Brewster.
Wow.
Stunning.
Thank you.
Well, I'll ask a final question then. What are you most looking forward to in performing this? Right? Or Zoe, what are you most looking forward to in seeing this in the theater?
I can't wait for the audience to come in and to become a character, which will make this play different every night. The actors always make it different, but in a comedy, you will throw them curveballs where you laugh, where you don't laugh, where you gasp. And so I can't wait to be in the audience during previews and seeing you guys have some new playmates. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking forward to being surprised by the surprises that we are hopefully planting for you.
100%. Yeah. Laughter from an audience, it's like, we're like surfers, and the laughter is the waves.
That's awesome.
So we gotta, it's so fun because it makes it different how we ride it every night. It's great.
Great.
I'm excited for my dad to see me do some crazy stuff.
I'm excited to watch your dad watch you do some crazy stuff.
Mary, upward to you before we...
I'm just excited for the ride. Like, I feel like, because once we figure out what we've decided is funny and is working, we won't get to laugh at each other in the room anymore. How sad, how sad.
Also, we'll have seen it like 10 times.
seen it.
It won't be like, it's not funny anymore.
Doing that again.
Some of it stays funny, though, even, right?
That's true.
But like once it is a thing, it's like once you open it, it's like a bottle of champagne
Oh,
that
that's
you've
good.
maybe shaken up just a little bit, like it's gonna pop open and just start spilling out, and I cannot wait just to like be a part of it. You can't go back, there's no rest period.
Right.
It's just
It's
going.
a ride. Well, we hope you'll all come join us, and all of you watching, we hope you'll come join us at Hartford Stage in January for the Cottage. It's really a good way to escape the cold and dark world and to escape winter and to come and just enjoy the sunniness of what this joyful, joyful production will be. So more information at hartfordstage.org, although if you're watching this, it's probably you're already on our website. But thank you all, and thank you for joining us here, and thank you, Victus Coffee. Yay. Thank you all so much.